What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm glad you guys can see me because I don't know. My software is bugging right now. So I'm glad you guys are able to see me, man. Hopefully you guys are seeing me the way I expect you to see me. But give me a second. Let me double check something really quick. Really quick, guys. Because I don't believe that the same stream is connected. Something crazy is happening. So give me 2 seconds to figure this out. I don't know what happened to the original link. Let me check something really quick, guys. You're probably going to hear me play the stream in the background. This is weird. This is very strange, and I don't know what's happening. Give me 2 seconds to make sure you guys are seeing the same link that I sent to everybody. Okay. Looks like it is. All right, guys, so let me let you guys know what's actually happening so you guys don't think I'm crazy and losing my mind. Let me make sure it's not playing double in the background. I could probably leave this screen. Give me a second. And we're still rolling. So I'm going to sit here for about 2 minutes. I need you guys to give me the A-OK to let me know that you're hearing me right now and seeing me. So please give me the virtual thumbs up that you can hear me right now. You're seeing me right now. Then I will explain to you guys why I'm sounding loony about that and thinking that it's not working. So I'm going to wait 2 seconds for you guys to confirm that. Then we'll dive right in, man. We got a lot to talk about, folks. It's all good. Okay. All right, so everybody's saying it's all good. Great. Let me explain to you guys what happened. And I probably will skip the introductions, man, because I don't want to hold you guys up. Weird. So usually I can cut on my software. For you guys that want to know what I'm using, I use Streamlabs OBS, right? Usually I can preset my my preview. That's a lot of you guys, you see the thing pop up and you guys are in there chatting and such before it starts. Usually I have that already set. So you guys can get in there and you can chat it up and all of that. And then when I get into my software, I hit go live, right? Once I hit go live, what happens in that case, at that point, it usually tells me which one do I want to select. I can select a new event, or I can go ahead and just go live from a pre-existing event, which is the one that I posted as a preview. Normally it works just fine. For whatever reason, both last night and tonight, when I do that, it's not streaming. It tells me it's live, but it's not live. Right? So I'm looking at my phone to see the stream in the background, not working. It only goes live now if I actually press go live within YouTube. It's not supposed to work that way. You're supposed to be able to do it all right here in Streamlabs OBS. So at least I figured it out. That's my workaround. So at least I know if it doesn't work properly, on Tuesday, I know I can just come right in and hit go live there and we're good to go. All right. So there you have it. But what's up, folks? How's everybody doing? Man, what a football game, man. Hopefully you guys don't have heart conditions because that one would have definitely had you on the edge of your seat. And not only that, you may have been ready to throw up a little bit in the second half because it got a little scary. We got the job done. That's all that matters. We got the job done. Round of applause for that. I don't know if you guys are going to hear this round of applause. Actually, I think I cut it off, so don't even worry about it. But great job, okay? Great job by the Pittsburgh Steelers, both offensively and defensively. Of course, the defense started, leaking some holes late in that game. Didn't like that. And I didn't like the fact that the offense as well, man, started off a little slow in the second half. But we did what we had to do to get the job done. And what a way to win the game. Of course, that field goal would have tied the game up. And who knows what would have happened in overtime. But we didn't even have to go that far. And it's funny, man, because a good buddy of mine, my brother Azur Effect, his real name is Rel, but he knows who he is. My brother Azur, texted me and was like, man, good game. You guys did a good job. And, it hurts to lose like that, and that kicker has been suspect all year. And for him to, literally lose the game at that point sucks for them. But y'all know what we do, man. I'm not going to do the whole introduction. Sorry, guys. I just don't want to hold you guys up tonight. But you early commenters. I see Miss Debbie is in the building. Hello, Miss Debbie. Hello, Miss Lanisha. She's in the building. I think I saw Odessa as well. Hello to all three of you lovely women. I appreciate you coming through. And guys, make sure you say hello to them so we'll at least give them their praise. If I don't say anyone else's name, we will say hello to the three of them. Okay, y'all know how we do. First and foremost, we're going to go through the first drive, both defensively and offensively. Then I'll talk about some key, moments of the game. And then I'll talk about my takeaways from the game. And then we'll open the queue up for calls. Let's see if we already got any. We have one caller already in the queue. My good buddy 803 is already there, so he's ready to rock, ready to go. All right, let's do it. So, Pittsburgh Steelers get the ball first. And this is 2 consecutive weeks now that we've actually had to, take the field offensively first. Now, here's some notes I took. 15-play drive to open the game. Wow. Wow, Steelers. You guys remember that? 9 minutes and something off the clock. Wow. Okay, great job, Pittsburgh. Great job, Randy Fichtner. And I got some things to talk to Randy Fichtner about, all positive, but Fichtner, you did a good job, and I'll explain a little bit of that a little later. But then, the Steelers burn up time of possession. That's what I posted here. And then I said the Steelers start the game passing. We started off passing, and it was like literally 6 passes or so, maybe 7 before we saw the first run. So what I said here was the ball was tipped by Clowney on the first play. Ben finds Juju on second down for a pickup of 7. He then finds Deontay Johnson on 3rd and 3 to move the chains. First run play happened a little bit later in that drive, and then Chooks was called for a holding, because I have to point that out, because that was, something that I noticed. The first play that we decided to run on, we get a holding by Chooks. He's still young, but he's got to, get rid of that stuff right there. Ben also, again, finds Deontay Johnson on a quick slant for 3rd and 11. Deontay goes inside, bounces back outside, and what do you know? He picks up the would-be 11 yards to keep the chains moving. Connor fumbles the ball forward at one point in that drive, and he's able to get the ball back, so that's good. He makes up for it on that 3rd and 1. I thought it was a nice, nifty spin move to get to the outside, as well as he finished it with a stiff arm to get the first down. And then Chooks, once again, gets called for a face mask on the touchdown play to Connor. And I'm going to come right back to that in a minute. I'm going to explain to you guys why that play was very important and it caught my eye. But he gets called for face mask. But then Ben throws a laser to Deontay Johnson. Let me tell you something. And first and foremost, we scored a touchdown on our opening offensive possession. Haven't done that often this year. Let me tell you something. If there was any question about Ben Roethlisberger's arm, I think that went out the window on that pass. He threw a laser, zipped that ball into tight coverage. I mean, a defender was right there. The ball literally goes right past his hand to find Deontay Johnson. So you got to give Deontay Johnson great credit on that catch, because we've seen Deontay Johnson have some concentration issues. So the fact that he caught that ball and was able to stay, engaged in that play, not thinking or not being deterred, by the defender, coming up with that grab was huge. But again, the throw and Ben having the guts to do it, Ben having that gunslinger mentality again means he's very confident with his arm. That was a beautiful thing to see. Now let's talk about that touchdown that got called back. You guys know I've been critical. You know what? I'm going to bring Randy Fichtner into the office really quick. Come on in here, Randy. Come on in really quick, because this is really fast. This is really fast, and this is for you, Mr. Fichtner. Listen, I said last week that I did not like the Chase Claypool end around or jet sweep, right? I don't like us running it so much. I want to see some variation off that. I want us to not fall in love with it. I would love to see a pass off of that. Well, what do you know? Mr. Fichtner, you called a beautifully timed play call. And the reason why, because we were in position to where Claypool normally gets the ball there. He's scored twice already this year and has picked up 3rd downs already this year when it's kind of that down in distance. So where we were on that play was a perfect time to run the jet sweep. The Titans know that, and the Steelers know that. So the Steelers throw that look at him, and then Ben pulls it out and throws it to Connor. Beautiful. We did a play action off of it. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess you would call it play action because I think it was like a fake to, I don't know if it was an actual fake to Claypool. I have to go back and take a look at that. But again, we gave him that look. And you guys know I have been critical of Mr. Fichtner here of saying we need to throw out more looks that look the same, whether we're running or passing. Beautifully timed call. It's unfortunate that Chooks got called for holding because that would have been an excellent play to talk about. But here I am still recognizing it and talking about it because that was outstanding. Love it. And we're going to take a look at it on Terrible Towel Tuesday. I'm definitely going to try to remember that one. But that's all I got for you, Mr. Fichtner. But again, Ben Roethlisberger's arm, man, zipped that ball in there. It was great to see. And to take off 9+ minutes was exactly what I was hoping for last night when I said we have to win the time of possession against the Titans. Keep the ball out of that boy's hand. That big man, Derrick Henry. All right, let's continue. So what did we do on defense first? Titans called for holding on the first play to Henry, backing them up. That was huge. Bud Dupree gets good pressure on Tannehill to force a 2nd and 17. Vince Williams limits Henry to a 2-yard gain, and then Cam Sutton nearly gets a pick on 3rd and 15. The Steelers produce a 3 and out. I thought that was phenomenal. Once again, you're going to take 9+ minutes on an opening drive, and then you're going to force their offense to go 3 and out. Again, keeping Derrick Henry off the field. So let's just read my key moments. No particular order, but just to show you guys how I document the game as I'm watching it. Titans was called for holding deep in their own territory on their first possession. We just talked about that, but this is, again, how I document it. And I said it forced a 3 and out, and the Steelers got good field position to follow. Ben throws it back to Connor for a 10-yard loss. Should I call him, y'all? I'm gonna let y'all tell me if I should call Ben in the office. I'm gonna let you guys. Matter of fact, yes. Yes, we will, but we're gonna do it later. Ben throws the ball backwards to James Conner. I just don't know what he was doing, but we're gonna find out later. Loses 10 yards, and then Ben finds Ebron on a 3rd and 14 to convert. And man, the 3rd down conversions, and we'll talk about that again on the takeaways, but it's beautiful, guys, when you have the ability to watch film and you see certain things that you feel like your team could take advantage of, or you see certain things that could actually go against your team and it actually happens. Again, something else I said in the pregame show. Remember I said, I think Ebron might have some opportunities in the middle of the field. There he was. And Ebron did get a few targets today, but that 3rd down was crucial. That was a critical moment in the game, man, to keep the chains moving. Let's see what else we got here. Clowney forces a fumble on that touch pass to Claypool, the jet sweep. And, it forced a 3rd and 12. But then Ben finds Juju on the very next play. Great catch by Juju. Had to literally kind of go down low and scoop it off the ground, if you will. Connor drops the ball on a sprint out pass. Did y'all remember that one? We did a sprint out. And it's beautiful. Kind of the quick sprint out, you roll out, and, you pass it, boom. Found Connor, hit Connor right in the hands, drops it. That was probably going to be another touchdown right there, but Connor drops it, and it was 1st and goal. And Steelers, we do score on a run by Benny Snell, and Big Henry Mondo leads the way as the fullback. And you know what, Mondo, let's call him in the office really quick because I'm also going to get on him about some penalties. Come on, big boy, come on in here. Hello, Mr. Mondo, man. Listen, congratulations, sir, for, being brought up to the big team. You were on the practice squad and you got brought up to the big squad and you did contribute. Heck of a block. It was very interesting and very funny seeing you back there as big as you are. But what a block you threw. And Benny Snell able to bounce that thing on the outside. And I saw you celebrate. I saw you jump up and celebrate as you knew you had contributed to a touchdown. Great job, Mr. Mondo. However, before you leave this office, I have to tell you something. I don't want you back out on that field getting them penalties the way you did. 2 penalties on you, sir. 2. One of them on special teams that could have been very critical. It was actually critical. And then on defense, Don't make us put you back on the practice squad. You're probably going to end up back there anyway, because I'm assuming we brought you up just to bring more beef to the situation. Great game planning by the coaches, but don't get so comfortable on the 53. You might get demoted back down to the practice squad for those penalties, but done with you, sir. All right, next up. What else did I document, guys? Man, what's his name? Ryan Humphreys? Is it Ryan Humphrey? Well, y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's just say Humphrey catches that deflected ball, man, to move the chains for the Titans. And what's crazy is the Steelers would have gotten off the field there. It was a high throw to A.J. Brown. And, you know, Humphrey being Johnny on the spot, he comes down with the catch. But, you know, I thought that was a key moment as well because the Titans ended up scoring on that drive. So that was a critical sequence of plays right there because, again, Steelers defense did a great job for the most part. And at that time, it was 14-0. All right, you force a 3rd and long. They throw it high to A.J. Brown because of the coverage, you know, and he's a big body receiver. You expect him to go up and get it. It's a little too high, tip ball. And if that ball hits the ground, they're going to punt because I believe we had either got a tackle for loss or something happened on that drive as well that kind of backed them up. So they were out of field goal range. I think at that time they were like right around the 40. So, you know, we would have gotten out of that situation unscathed, but unfortunately, Humphrey is Johnny on the spot, makes a wonderful catch. What else I got here? Deontay Johnson drops the ball on a free play. Remember when we got those guys offsides and Ben found him down the sideline in the end zone and the ball literally hits his hand like right here? Come on, Deontay. Come on, Deontay. You know, and I'm not going to call Deontay Johnson into the office because Deontay, you know, played well today. Did some good things, but you got to catch that. You know, scoring off of a free play is just, that's money. You know, Ben is used to doing that. Took the excellent shot. And again, another nice throw there because it was coverage, you know, coming over to Deontay Johnson, you know, coming over, you know, from his left side. And Ben made a tight throw there and the ball just bang, bounces off of this part of his hand. What are you going to do? But you got to catch that. You got to catch that. What else we got here? Deontay Johnson. Oh, I'd already said that. So because of the drop, we had to end up settling for a field goal on that possession, but that could have potentially been, you know, 7 points instead of 3 points. So check out this series right here. Steelers kick it short, and we pin the Titans on their own 9-yard line after a muffed punt or muffed return by their return. I can't remember his name now. That was very huge, and it was significant. Let me explain to you why. TJ Watt, being the dog that he is, TJ Watt gets a tackle for loss on Henry, a 4-yard loss, which, you know, made it a 2nd and 14. Henry picks up 8 yards on the play on the next play, you know, so we gave up a little too much there, but it ended up being a 3rd and 5. And I have a question for you guys. I want to know, remember, it was right around the 2-minute warning, like right around that time. It was about a minute. It was actually 2 minutes, I think. Right after, I think it was after the 2-minute warning. This was, you know, in the second half, going into the second half. I want to ask you guys a question, and I'm going to read it here the way I wrote it. Would you have taken a timeout there if you were the Steelers? Would you have taken a timeout right there? Or knowing that the Titans were going to be pressing the issue because they were down, would you have allowed them to dictate the tempo and then take the timeout afterwards? And the reason why I asked that question, guys, and I'll look in the chat, man, really quick before I continue. I asked that question because a lot of times we criticize coaches, you know, for making decisions. And I remember looking at Leonard and I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I would have taken that time out there because I think the Titans were pressing the issue. Because we're going to get the ball back with time anyway. I don't think the Titans are going to drain the play clock at that moment. I don't think they're going to drain the clock at that moment, right? I think they're going to be pressing the issue. And if you stop them, you could then take a time. You know what I'm saying? You still, especially if it's an incompletion, you still going to get the ball back with a decent amount of time. However, it did work in our favor because it gave us more time. But let me read the rest. Let me see what you guys say. Brother Mark says, that's the same question I had. I don't know if he's talking about me. Let's Toast Media says yes. I would have saved the timeout. Yeah, man. And see, it was a key sequence, guys. And if I can remember, maybe you guys, if you guys return on Tuesday, maybe you guys can point it out to me and we'll go back and look at that sequence. I'm not saying that Tomlin made a mistake at all. Going for the timeout when we did, it did work out, right? What I'm saying, though, is as a clock manager, what would you guys have done? Because I think that was a unique situation where there was still enough time to hold on to the timeout, expecting the Titans to push the issue, right? So they're not going to burn clock. It was a gray area there where you could have held on to it just in case. So that's one of those interesting moments where I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. You know what I mean? I'm just curious to know how some of you guys would have played that out. But hey, it didn't matter. Okay, Brother Mark said, yeah, about the timeout call. So let me read the rest of it. I said, would you have taken the timeout? Steelers get them off the field, and we get the ball back. And what happened then? Ray McLeod gets a tremendous punt return, and the Steelers start that drive in the red zone. Steelers get another touchdown to Deontay Johnson. Beautiful pivot by Deontay after the catch to get into the end zone. So we ended up scoring. No harm, no foul as far as the timeout. But let's talk about Ray. Let me explain something to you guys. We have two very capable returners. And Ray is both a kick returner and a punt returner. But y'all know Deontay Johnson a bad boy too when he returns punts. But here's the beauty of it. We now have a situation where we don't have to rely on a guy who is very important for us offensively to risk getting hurt returning kicks. You got a guy like Ray McLeod that's got you on the edge of your seat every time he fields it. We have found a kick and punt returner. No question about it. This dude, Ray, has produced some huge plays already this season. Huge. And even in the offensive game when we ran the little jet sweep or pitch to him. Remember that game when Ray McLeod has been a bright spot for us, man. I got to give a shout out to the Steelers brass and Tomlin and whoever else was, a part of that decision to bring him in. I know he had some securing the ball issues and things like that with his other team, but man, has he been a bright spot for the Steelers, and I love it. I love what I'm seeing out of him. I think we might see a situation where he does actually get one this year, whether it's kick or punt. I think he's definitely going to get some more, and, I expect to see a touchdown or two out of him this season. Let's see. Man, here's another interesting sequence. Right after that, Titans fumble the handle of the punt and gives the Steelers the ball back at the 32-yard line. That was a fourth down. Remember that? Get us the ball right back on the 32-yard line. But this is where I get pissed off. Ebron gets called for a false start that backs us up. Now, the commentators were saying, I really wasn't paying attention to the down and distance, but listening to the commentators, they said that before that, it would have been about a 50-yard field goal, which, doable for Boswell. But after that 5 yards, if you don't lose any yards from there, it makes it a 55-yard kick. And I'm going to be honest, some of you might not feel like that's a whole lot, but it is when you're talking about kicking and the change of the direction and enough leg and, 5 yards makes a difference. I personally don't think I'm not comfortable with Boswell kicking a 55-yarder. But there's a caveat to that. Because watching it with father-in-law Leonard was saying, no, I would have tried it. You know what? I'm going to agree with Leonard. At that point, with that little bit of time left, try it. No harm, no foul. What is it going to hurt? What's it going to hurt to try it, right? So that's number one. Number two, here's another question. Why did we take that deep shot? Ben went for the Hail Mary there. And again, I don't know what the play call was. I don't know if we had multiple routes there and, Ben decided to take the deep shot. A lot of times it's up to the quarterback's discretion. But I feel like, what about maybe picking up a quick 7 yards or so on an out or something close to the sideline and, we make it a better field goal try? I would have preferred that. But no, What ended up happening? Ben Roethlisberger throws it deep and it gets picked off. Now, you can kind of throw that pick out the window, but it goes on his stats now. And, I'm still not going to be critical of Ben Roethlisberger and his interceptions because his ratio has still been good this year. It's still been good, right? It's still good, even with the picks today. And a lot of those picks today, a little questionable. So I'm not going to get on him for that. But I will say, I wish we would have went for the short yardage there and do the field goal try. Because what do you know? What if we get that field goal? And that's 3 more points to add to the tally. And, But anyway, we all know how that ended. So here we are, second half. And let me try to burn through these really quick, man, so we can get to the calls. We're at 28 minutes. We're doing good on time. Second half. TJ Watt gets a sack on first down to force a 2nd and 17. Terrell Edmonds makes a big tackle on Henry for only a 1-yard gain. Came up, shot the gap. And then the Steelers force a 3rd and 16 after that, of course. And Edmonds gets a PBU to force a 3-and-out. Let me give Terrell Edmonds some flowers while he can smell them. Edmonds ain't playing that bad, folks. News flash. Let me get a sip of water and let you guys ponder on that for a moment. Edmonds ain't playing half bad. I'm not saying he's great. But again, he's not the playmaker. He's not the extreme playmaker, but he's starting to become a solid guy, a dependable guy. He's done a fairly good job in pass coverage this year. Even later in that game, he knocked the ball away that was in the end zone. I believe that was the 4th quarter, I think it was. Edmonds made some plays, but on that series alone, those are the things that you have to pay attention to when you're not talking about a star, right? You have to pay attention to where were they effective? And you saw right there on that one drive, Terrell Edmonds single-handedly, along with, who was that got the TJ Watt, getting the sack on first down, those 2 guys together single-handedly destroyed that drive. Beautiful stuff. But give Terrell Edmonds some props, man. He's not as bummish as you guys thought he was last year. He's playing relatively well this year for the most part. So then right after that, man, Kenny Vaccaro gets called for a late hit on James Conner, moves the chains as well, because I think Conner picked up 7 or 8 on that 15-yard penalty, of course, automatic first down, and moves it up 15 more yards. Chase Claypool, who didn't get a lot of targets in this game, drew a good big-time PI on Butler to keep that drive moving, pushed us down into the red zone. And then Matt Fowler has a very suspect block on Beasley and calls the tackle for loss on Conner. You guys remember that play? I don't know what. Fowler just looked like he was halving it right there. Again, Fowler's played solid football this year, man, but he was halving it a little bit, a little poo butt block there. And Conner gets brought down for the TFL, brings up a 3rd and 6, and Ben misses Ebron, on the post. Tight throw, again, and a lot of times people will hear me say that, and you'll say, man, that was a tight throw, and, what you expect, they're not going to make all the throws. I get it. But in the NFL, a lot of times you ain't wide open. Usually that happens because of a coverage bust. There's going to be a little bit of space, just a little bit of space between a guy and the receiver and the defender, and you consider that open. If Ben put that ball on the money, that's possibly a touchdown. But, he kind of missed Ebron on that one. So it is what it is. We had to settle for a field goal. Right after that, A.J. Brown scores 73-yard pass. And again, guys, the big plays kill me. I hate it. I hate those big splash plays against us, but it's the NFL. It's going to happen. It was a play-action pass. What did we all say coming into this game? What did I say last night? Watch the play-action pass, and it definitely looked like Tannehill audibled at the line there. And I think TJ Watt was saying something too, because if you go back and listen to the audio, TJ Watt was saying something like pass, or something like that. So he was alerted as well, but it was too late. Vince Williams almost knocks it down, but then Minka kind of put into a position where he kind of made a bad read on it. He didn't come crashing down fast enough, couldn't get there with the angle. So there was no tackle there. And then once the boy was in the open field, Joe Hayden or whoever else that was chasing him wasn't going to get him. 73-yard touchdown. Sucks, right? But what you're going to do, it's going to happen. Those guys are professionals too. So then Right after that, what really ticked me off, we went 3 and out. Right after that. And see, this is a huge moment, guys, because momentum starts to swing there. We ran that screen pass to McFarland. It gets snuffed out. No yards. We run a draw play to James Conner. Gets snuffed out. No yards. Then the Steelers come right back, like I said, right after that touchdown and go 3 and out. Excuse me. Shout outs to Shadow Slayer, man, with the donation. Definitely appreciate that. So let's stop what I'm doing. Pay attention to his donation and read what he has here. He says, this game was insane. Credit to the Steelers D for stopping Henry, and the shout outs to the Titans for an amazing finish. And we need to close better, and it will happen, or this will happen often. Yeah, you're right, man. We got to definitely close games out much faster. We got to take care of business on both sides of the ball, but not even necessarily both sides of the ball. Let's say both sides of the half. Okay, we got to play consistently throughout the game. I often started stalling in the second half, and I'll talk about that in a bit, but we started stalling a little bit, man, and that kind of compromised a very good win for us, and it made it more closer than it needed to be. So let's see. Then again, when we get the ball back, Big Ben has the ball tipped, and the Titans get the pick. And the ball starts on the Steelers' 30-yard line. That was a huge swing right there. And again, there's not much you can do about that as a quarterback, but it happened. And Vince Williams gets a nice sack on Tannehill to start their drive. TJ Watt tips the pass and forces the incompletion. The Steelers then force a 3rd and 13 and force the Titans to only kick a field goal. And then the Steelers give up only 3 points on that turnover. So that was a huge swing as well when you consider the final in the game. That was the difference between us winning and losing technically in points, because we stood up, defense stood strong at that moment, and you only allowed 3 points after allowing a team like the Titans to get on your 30. That just lets you know the type of job we did for most of the game against Derrick Henry, which is very commendable. Let's see. After that, James Conner and Deontay Johnson both slip on back-to-back plays. They both slipped. Conner slipped on the run, looked like he had a little bit of room. Then Deontay Johnson slips, and Ben had him. He was right there at the sticks. He probably gets a first down there, puts us in a third, in that 3rd and 10 situation, and then Ben almost gets the ball picked again. He almost got the ball picked again. He threw into a little bit of traffic, and there you have it. We go 3 and out. And then James Pierre gets called for that late hit, which gave them 15 more yards. All right, so we're coming up to about the last 3 segments here. So let me read these really quick. Titans get Derrick Henry going a bit on that following drive. They get down to the goal line, and Robert Spillane, what a big-time hit on Derrick Henry. Whew, man. Robert Spillane came right down the pike and met that boy head on. And a tremendous blow. Unfortunately, he took the brunt of it because he went out the game. Maybe, might have just been a little pinch. One of those little light things. He might have just had a little quick pinch nerve or something like that. But we'll see what actually happens. I don't know, if he's suffering something real or if it's a more significant shoulder injury or arm or what have you. But man, shout outs to Spillane coming and filling that hole. And literally stopping Derrick Henry in his tracks. It's not easy to do. And it makes me wonder, man, what's going to happen if Spillane is injured. What happens going forward? We did see UG3 out there today. UG3 had a few snaps, and I don't know if it's just because Spillane went out, but then again, we got to see him playing some defense. So hopefully he can make things happen going forward. We'll see. But on that same drive, Steelers would have been off the field. But you know why we weren't? 1 second. Robert Spillane, come in. Matter of fact, never mind. You did your job. Send your boy in here. Minka, come on in here, buddy. Come on. Minka. It's not like you played a bad game, but I need to know what was your intention on that 4th down. You was holding my man from the jump. That was a call before you even got into the end zone. and they was right at the end zone. So that's living proof that you're holding from the beginning. I mean, there was never, I didn't see one moment when you tried to jam him or nothing. You literally were holding him from the word go. Come on, brother. I mean, if you want to play tight on him, you got, I mean, the 5 yards exists because there is no 5 yards. So you can press him as tough and as tight as you want. If you do that, guess what? The Steelers get the ball back. That was an incomplete on the conversion. They wouldn't have gotten the 4th down. And we marching the other way. Potentially, maybe we get a long drive, maybe not, but we definitely take points off the board there. But instead, you playing grabby from the jump. Come on, Minka. That's all I got for you, man. So y'all know at that point, man, they get the touchdown. Henry scores, and the game ends up being 27-24. Mondo gets called for holding on the kickoff. Backs the Steelers up to the 9-yard line. The Steelers convert on a 3rd and 1 with the play action pass to Juju. Nice. Steelers pick up another 1st down on a 3rd and 7. Quick pass to Juju. Nice. Steelers pick up another 3rd down on 3rd and 6 to DJ. Deontay Johnson, and Deontay went down. We got to keep an eye on that. He went down on that play. I don't know if it's significant. But again, we picked up 3 third downs. Great drive so far. Steelers then get called for offensive PI, and it backs the Steelers up to a 3rd and 12. And what happens next? Ben Roethlisberger throws a pick trying to find Juju in the end zone. Big Ben, come on in this office, sir. Really quick. Big Ben, we love you, buddy. You've done such a great job with the Steelers organization, and you're doing a great job this year. And I'm telling you, with you back at the helm, some of us are starting to feel a little, like we might have a better team than we thought. Some of us are starting to feel that. But what was you thinking on that play? Granted, you tried to fit it in. Juju got his hands on it, but that was a tight and a tough catch for him to make. And if I remember correctly, there was a man open underneath. We're going to go back and take a look at that on Tuesday, but I swear I saw somebody open underneath. All we need is to just keep the ball. If we get the 1st down, great. If we don't, we kicking a field goal. Stop forcing it, Ben. Stop forcing it. That's all I got. C. Antoine Hill says, we had an okay win. Thank you for the donation. We had an okay win. I just wish we passed the ball on the outside more instead of the middle and use more multiple tight end sets. I can't agree with you more, man. I need to see a little more mixing in of the tight ends. Let's play the Tennessee game. Let's get 2 tight ends on the field a little bit, man, so we can pose that threat of run and or pass and get favorable matchups with the tight end. So definitely agree with that. But let me speed it up, guys, because we already have 41 minutes, and I definitely want to give my callers time. So you guys know how it goes after that, man. Vince Williams gets a great tackle for loss on 1st down to that screen to Henry. Cam Sutton with a nice pass defense to force a 3rd and 12. But then Tannehill finds A.J. Brown against Joe Hayden for the big gain. And Joe Hayden had a couple of leaks, man. Joe Hayden sprung a few leaks in this game. But then Tannehill gets called for intentional grounding, which was huge on 1st down. I was a little worried, though, man. I thought Stephon Tuitt could have possibly been called for a personal foul the way he drove Tannehill to the ground. But I think maybe that, him letting off like that and going into like that, dive motion may have helped the ref feel like it wasn't intentional. But great that we didn't get called there. Good coverage by Hayden on the 3rd and 13. Great coverage by Hayden there. But then the missed field goal, of course, was how we won the game. All right, so there you have it, guys. That's my quick recap. See, we got new subscribers popping up. All right, guys, I'm going to try to be really, really brief here with my quick takeaways. Leave a little bit of time for the callers. But, guys, y'all know the routine. You're going to have to be quick. Please don't exceed. Fast, in and out, so I can get out of here and go have some Sunday dinner. Let's see. Quick takeaways. Steelers were playing dink and dunk early. And it worked. Shout outs to Randy Fichtner, man. Randy Fichtner called a good game, in my opinion. We threw out a different game plan out there. quick stuff. Man, we was moving the ball, methodically moving the ball down the field on the Titans. That's what I wrote early, and it continued to happen like that until about the second half. Then we got a little crazy with offense. I don't know, our execution wasn't the same, and I don't really know why. I don't know if you credit the Titans for that or if it's just us lack of execution. But we we couldn't keep that same consistent ball movement going. Steelers dominated on third down offensively. I don't know what the final numbers was, but at one point we were 8 for 9. What I just told you on that last drive before Ben threw that interception, we converted 3 back-to-back third downs on that drive. So do the math. We did very well on third down. Cam Sutton, I thought, played very, very well, man. Cam was showing himself in coverage. Played a very good game. And again, I think we all know that we feel that Cam Sutton is more of a cover guy than Mike Hilton, but I can recall at least 3 times where Cam Sutton made a great play in this game as far as just knocking the ball away. And the last takeaway I got, man, is Juju and Deontay Johnson were definitely a part of the plans today. And it sounded like, they were referencing the fact that Claypool was getting more of the attention in this game. And I said that. I said as soon as we get another guy that can pose a threat, Juju will start to eat again. And, Ben targeted him quite a few times. I think I heard the commentator say at one time it was 9 catches for 80-something yards. And I think Deontay's was close to that. So Deontay Johnson and Juju were a part of the plans. What was interesting, and I don't know why, guys, my camera keeps going in and out with the brightness. Very strange. But, another thing I want to say, man, is James Washington wasn't really a part of the mix today. Not too often. Very interesting. Very interesting. And that was also an interesting call, man, when Randy Fichtner ran the little jet sweep to Jalen Samuels. We hadn't seen that before. So we got a lot in that arsenal. We got a lot in that bag of tricks, man, on offense. But let's get to the calls. Guys, we are at 45 minutes. Y'all know the show is supposed to be an hour. Y'all got to be fast. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 calls. Y'all got to keep the calls short. All right? We have to be done in 15 minutes. Let's do it. First up is area code 803. What you got for us?
Hey, brother, how you doing? I am very excited. We had a pretty good game, and I was very happy. I didn't like the way we ended the game, but even though we got intercepted, we ran a lot of time off that clock on that drive. Like you said, I wish we would have made one more first down. We could have just run the clock out. Got to give up to Juju Smith-Schuster today. It takes a lot for a man to become a team leader and to sacrifice his numbers for the betterment of the team. He has a lot of, I always think about him as Hines Ward-esque. Lastly, the defensive team. We didn't stop Garrett Henry, but we neutralized their offense. He only had 75 yards rushing. And I have to give heads up to Robert Spillane and also Cam Sutton. Cam Sutton was very feisty out there today. And thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you, man. And guys, I'm going to keep my responses to literally nothing so you guys can talk. So let's move on to the next one. Great timing, guys. He set the blueprint. Please follow that. Next, area code 814. What you got for us?
Oh, hey, thanks. Love the show. Just 2 quick things. One, typically, whenever the Steelers get a lead and then teams come back, they typically lose those games. Twice it's happened this year, and they've won the games. That's something positive. And the other thing, I'm not big about players moving around positions, but sometimes injuries kind of force their hand. Well, I thought if Hayden is kind of struggling a little bit in the corner, and Sutton's stepping up, what if Sutton goes out to that corner spot, drop Hayden back into the safety spot, let Edmonds come up and be someone a little more versatile where Devin Bush used to be? Thanks for the time. Try to keep it short. Love the show, man.
Man, appreciate the call. And yes, short and sweet. One small thing I would say, and then I'll move on. We kind of do that in the dime where you'll see Sutton play back deep, but then Hayden is still on the outside. So I don't know if they want to switch that combination. But good suggestion. Maybe we'll see. Next up, area code 505. What you got for us?
Hey, yo, Sim. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So one thought. I think that we should pass the ball to the outside more. I definitely agree with that because there were way too many passes that were tipped at the line today. I think that as time goes along, and if that's a problem, I see that biting us in the butt. But overall, it was a great game. Ben played kind of sloppy, but hey, it happens. We ran the ball well, and now we're the only undefeated team left in the AFC. Let's go. Here you go, Steelers.
Man,
have a good day, Sam.
Appreciate the call. Yes, sir. You too as well. Have a good day. And I don't disagree with that either. You know, because like you said, obviously you're throwing it in the middle if you're getting the ball tipped at the line. So, yeah, we need to look for those outside, matchups when we got a horse like Claypool and guys like that, and then work our way back inside. So I don't disagree. Next up, area code 678. What you got for us?
Hey, thanks for taking my call, Sim.
Yes,
Old
sir.
school classic right here. Just because they moved from Houston and changed their name to Tennessee, don't think we forgot. Now, Sunday, the day, you and I, I'm sure you and your comrades were talking about, come on, Ben. Now, you said you weren't going to do that. But I want to ask a quick question, and I'll get off the telephone. Did you feel as though that one, the Juju, though, I thought that was face guard. That got to be called. But still, I'll take a ugly victory as opposed to a ugly loss any day. Thanks for taking my call.
Man, you're absolutely right. And I got to respond to what he said about Juju, because at first I did react a little wild to that. And even Leonard usually the other way around. Leonard had to calm me down. I was like, no, Juju had it. When they showed it from that, end zone perspective, it was a good shot. Ben took a shot, right? And like my man said, dude really wasn't looking at the ball, and it got deflected, and then the interception came from the trailing guy. So it wasn't like it was a bad throw. It's just Ben was going for the fences, and I just felt like, we had something underneath. We could have got a field goal out of it. But, I do have to fall back and not really go at Ben for that one. You guys are right. I will agree to that. Next up, 443, what you got for us?
What's up? I just got a couple things. Hey, man, if this is how we can win going into Baltimore, this is how I want to win. We won, right? But it wasn't a blowout. We're not too high on the horses. Came out second half. We were slow. My time in the locker room, all right, y'all, we won, but we could do better. And it seemed like Steven Nelson was playing with bricks in his pocket, man. I don't know what the problem was, but A.J. Brown was out there killing them. And that was a great tackle by Spillane. The goal line stop was a great tackle. And I want to congratulate Keith Butler real quick for working around the injuries and scheming up a pretty decent game plan. I know it wasn't always perfect, but the Mike Hilton blitzes we couldn't do. We didn't have the ranginess of a Devin Bush, but we still called a winning game. And Ben, the interceptions, I get it. He said in the post game that after the false start by Ebron, it kind of changed their plan. They were going to go maybe run it and kick it, but after that, they decided to take a shot because we still would have been up by 6. They still needed a touchdown, but hey, man, go Steelers.
Yeah, man, I definitely have to go back and reevaluate. That's why I love this show. It's the raw emotion, because we all go through it. We watch the game, hey, what happened? And then when you go back and watch the film, you be like, oh, okay. So that's why I love doing this show the way I do it. And you guys can hear my raw feelings. And then a lot of times, some of you guys, even on Tuesday, be like, hey, Sim, go back and look at that other play. Because I don't think this actually happened the way we thought. So, yeah, we'll see. But I just wish, play for the field goal there. But you make a good point. We still would have only been up by 6. So I get taking the shot. 2 more calls, man. And you guys have been great on timing. So let's keep that going. 917, what you got for us? 917, man. You gotta cut me off in the back, because if not, we're gonna hear that audio and it's gonna be a delay. I'm gonna come back to you. Let's grab 931, which is Rough House. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, what it do? We back again, reporting to you live from a place called Steelavania. You know what I'm saying? I am your roving reporter, Rough House Boxing TV. Hey, what it do, Sim? What's going on, bro?
What's going on, man? What you got for us today?
Hey, man, real quick, man. You didn't want to take Deontay Johnson to the office. I will do it in your stead. Deontay, we know you want to be a slick receiver and all, man, but that does not mean you have to coat your gloves in KY jelly.
Oh.
There were some crucial catches that he had the slippery fingers with, man, and that's been a consistent thing with him from week one since whenever he's available. Second thing, I'm kind of worried about Spillane. He played good today, but he came out with that shoulder, man. Where do we go?
Yeah.
You know, if he's going to be out for a while. That's something to think about, something to look at. And man, I'm so hyped. I forgot my last point. But, man, y'all already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I am their boy Box. This is Rough House Boxing TV. Hey, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the homie Sim, man. Because if you're not subscribed to Sim, you're slipping on your pimp. But as always, man, I am their boy Box, Rough House Boxing TV. Y'all make sure y'all stop by the house. Just remember to wipe your feet and close the door behind you. And I'm out. G.
Man, Rough House Boxing, appreciate you coming through, man. And yeah, I'm worried about Spillane as well. And also, I need to check your channel, man, because I'm sure you probably had something to say about that Lomachenko fight. And old boy, man, Lopez, yeah, the boy boxed his, you know what, off and won that fight. But yeah, man, let's get to the last call. And yeah, let's keep an eye on Spillane, man, because that's, yeah. Where do we go? You know, facing off against the Baltimore Ravens. Last call of the night, 917. What you got for us? Hello, hello, hello. 917. We're not gonna be able to catch you tonight. Again, man, let me make sure so you know how to do it. When you call in, make sure you mute the stream, because as we all, even the chat probably just heard it, we're hearing myself in the background, but the stream is obviously delayed. It's a delay from the stream and the telephone. So, you know, whenever you're on the phone, you got to make sure you're just listening to the phone and mute your computer or whatever device you're watching the stream on, or you're going to miss the call like what just happened. So please, man, if you can come back on Tuesday, you know, please get your call in. Sometimes we don't have as many calls on Tuesday because we watch the film, but guys, y'all did a phenomenal job, man. Phenomenal job. And oh, shout outs to Railfax, man. I see we got a donation. Appreciate that, Rail. Let me read your comment, and then I'll give a few comments and we'll be out of here. He said, great show as always. 6-0 feels good. Serious question. Where has this Juju hate come from in the last year or so? I don't know. You know, I've been defending Juju all this time. You know, I've been arguing with a lot of people, even my father-in-law, Lynn. Oh, he's not a number one. And I consistently say, look, he might not be the number one like AB was. But Juju can line up on my team any day. I don't want to lose Juju. I'm going to be honest. But I'm also be honest with this. If Connor keep producing the way he's producing and he's healthy, there are going to be some tough decisions to make at the end of the season. Because one of those guys ain't going to be there. Maybe both. Who knows? Cap situation going to be crazy. Well, we won't talk about that now. Let's not get depressed right now. But again, great job with the calls, guys. I mean, I can't ask for better than that. And I shut up for once and gave you guys all the floor, and I didn't comment as much, and we got through it. We took 7 calls, excluding 917, but we took 7 calls in less than 15 minutes. And we got a few minutes now for me to wrap it up. We 6-0. I should probably go ahead and tell you guys now. Let's end the show with this, and I'll read a few comments. I always say I need to see about 6 games to know what team we have. And we just played that 6th game. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. I think we do have a very good team, man. I do think we actually have a possible Super Bowl contender. However, there's some holes we got to fix. You know, there's some things that we got to patch up. And of course, every team goes through that. But what I noticed today, there was a lot of self-inflicted wounds. Let's think about this for a moment. We went out in that first half and we dominated Tennessee. Dominated Big Boy. Derrick Henry couldn't get off. We dictated what they did. Yeah, we sprung some leaks late in the game, you know, in the third quarter and going into the fourth. But for the most part, we saw when both teams were fresh, we saw what we could be. Dominated. We had no problem moving the football on them boys. And I know their defense is a little suspect, but so what? That's what you're supposed to do when you catch a team that's got a weakness. You prey on it. And they couldn't get going offensively for that first half. That showed you what type of team we could be. We got some guys, man. Listen, we have some outstanding weapons at the receiver position. Our 1 through 4 is pretty good. You might not say any of these guys are world beaters or superstars, but I'm going to tell you right now, they're all capable. They all capable, and they all can make big-time plays. Deontay is that, I told you guys, you can't keep him off the field, man, if he's healthy. Well, I know some people will say, oh, you know, we all right without him. We'll just let Claypool. Nah. Deontay has a different game. His yak, you know, after the catch, his route running. He's the guy. He's that guy that can beat one-on-ones. Remember on that last third down conversion? How he beat Butler off the line? He's your route runner. He's your shifty man. Gotta have him. Right? We nasty, 1 through 4. And if we keep working Ebron in there, we nasty. And if, if McFarland, if we could ever work him in the right way, we are nasty. And that defense nasty, man. Out front, TJ Watt is a mega stud. Bud Dupree is playing super solid. The two guys I got on the thumbnail, and the reason why I have those guys in the thumbnail, because I thought they would have to be a very key component in controlling the trenches. Tuitt and Alu. I always call him Alu, but I think it's Alu. We nasty, man. Vince Williams giving us all he can against the run. You know, we're going to have a hole in the inside linebacker position, you know, even with Spillane, because we don't quite know what we got. We were just getting ready to get used to Devin Bush. But we all right, man. On the back end, I think we okay. You know, Minka's going to be Minka. You know, Joe Hayden might give up a few here and there, but then also, again, late in the game, he had a great pass defense against Davis down the sideline. You know, Hayden just ain't quite what he used to be, but he's solid. But Nelson, that was a good point one of the callers made, man. He did seem like he was moving a bit slow out there, so I got to take a look at that. But we got a solid team, guys, and I think, you know, can we play with the Baltimores of the world? We'll see. We'll see. You know, can we play against the Kansas City? We'll see. But I think as it stands right now, I think we're going to the playoffs. I have a feeling we're going to be able to get to the playoffs. And we have a chance. We know we can make a run at it. Who knows? Can we win this year? I don't know. It's a long season, guys. But right now, as it stands, I do feel confident about this team being a very strong, very good team. I don't feel like the 6-0 is an admiration now. I think we are a solid football team, and we'll see what happens against Baltimore. Let me read a couple comments, man, then I'll get out of here. Y Diggy says, good win. I'm liking the offensive play calling, but we can't let off the gas in these games. There's holes defensively, but we're missing Hilton today, and that affected the pass rush. Absolutely. Brett Fox says, great point about Juju, Kenyon. I don't know what Kenyon said. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know. I can't find it, but I will take you guys' word for it. Eric McDuffie says, Juju's numbers will increase and Chase's will suffer more because he'll be drawing the attention. Them people will start hating on Chase. Yep, you know it. You know how this game works. Double T says, depending on how he finishes, I can see Juju taking a team-friendly deal around 10 to 12 million range if he finishes under 1,000 yards, as well as Connor in that 5 to 8 million range. You know what's funny? And Leonard is my witness. I said that to Leonard during the game. I said, you know what? The way Juju behaves and him being a selfless guy and all that, I could see him being one of those dudes that it ain't going to be all about the money. I could see him taking a deal that obviously he's going to make money, but stay with Pittsburgh. I can 100% see that. You are absolutely correct, sir. I fully agree with you on that. Builder's Life says, yeah, man. He's talking to Brett. He says, Ben is too tall to have all these batted passes. Ben doesn't have pocket awareness. Brady moves in the pocket. Ben just stands there. That's arguable. I mean, I couldn't go as far as saying Ben don't have pocket presence. I mean, I don't know if I could say that. If you consider how Ben is able to escape pressure and things like that. So I don't know if I could go that far. Tyler DePoy says Spillane can hold it down, but unless Jay Elliott can play inside linebacker or UG3 can play D-line, we might need to trade for some depth. Yeah. Yeah, Luis D says, I believe Deontay is a better route runner than Santonio Holmes. Okay. Caesar Diaz, first seed in the conference so far, and we haven't played our best football yet. Go Steelers. Very true. But also, you got to pull back on that a little bit and say, yeah, we haven't played the best competition yet either. So that's a twofold, kind of response. One more, guys, then I'll get out of here. Certified Sports says, I think Juju wants to be in Pittsburgh. As do I. And I think he's going to find a way to stay there. So there you have it. But guys, man, I appreciate the viewership. I 100% appreciate, you guys coming through the way you do, man. The donations, and speaking of that, for you guys who have donated and who will donate, because you guys seem to do it all the time outside of the show. Some of you prefer Cash App or PayPal. My information is in the description, so thank you in advance. But thank you for you guys who donated here tonight. Before you go, do this. Come on, man. That's easy. Y'all been doing better with the likes. Y'all been helping me out. But subscribe, cut on your notifications, man. Ring that bell and thumbs up. Thumbs up. I should never have, and I hate talking about myself, but based on the viewership, I should never have less than 100 likes on these videos, based on the amount of people who watch it each week. So hook your boy up, man, and do that. But outside of that, man, hope you guys enjoyed today as well as I did. Come back on Tuesday for Terrible Towel. We'll watch some film, and we'll take a few calls if we have a chance. But we'll really dive into this thing. And we 6-0, man. And now we got to face off against them Ravens. But hey, that stretch that I said we were going on, we already got 2 down, right? Cleveland, because of their record, I thought they were a better team than they were last week. And we got Tennessee out the way, and now, we got the Ravens. And I said, man, if we could come out of that stretch, 2-1 and maybe 3-1 if you include the Cowboys, which don't look like to be much now, unfortunately, we could be off to a pretty good start, man, because even next week, for whatever reason, let's say the Ravens get the best of us, you're still sitting at 6-1, and that's a great position to be in, around the first half of the season. So hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Watch some football tonight. Watch the rest of these games that's on right now, because if you're a football nut like me, you will be doing that. But I hope you guys enjoy. Have a good night. Have a great start off to the week. God bless. Be safe. And again, I thank you guys for tuning in to the Terrible Towel post-game show. Peace.